So guys, I'm back again because total side note, we had just finished recording the official recording, and out of nowhere then um realized Shannon said, "Oh, I had messaged well, I had you messaged me, was it Shannon? Or which
I think I was posted on my story about my thesis and what I was writing about, which was the Irish country scene. And I think you messaged me and you were saying, are you struggling to find academic texts? And I was like, yeah, like nobody, like have all these books of Irish music history and none of them mention country music. And you were like, look, I have some of that stuff in my thesis and I can send it across to you if you need a hand with references. And I was like, oh my God. You
it's
were a godsend.
I didn't put two and two together. I mean, that's so long ago. Do you know what? I'm just looking here for the crack because
Yeah, it'll
I'm just
probably be on your own
like,
page.
that is nuts. And you know, like what I wrote that 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And to think now, I was just happy to help people out because it is hard to find the stuff like
Yeah, especially
um
because they want it on an academic level, and
I can't
I
find anything
couldn't
now. That's
find it.
annoying me. But anyway, um
Oh,
yeah, oh my God, yes, that thesis I done. And what did you call your thesis? Or what was the
um,
title? Can you remember? It's a year
oh
ago.
my God, yeah, I should remember. This is not good. But it was something to do with the connection between, or no, like the differences between American country music and Irish country music, and how one came from the other.
Yeah.
So I kind of studied, the introduction was about like American country history, and then it went into Irish country history, and it started from like Big Tom and the Mainliners, and it went the whole way through the kind of dance years, and straight up to like modern day, then what it is now. And I was talking about like how like Nathan Carter has performed in the Tree Arena, and it's huge. And I was basically, with the lack of text that I could find, I ended up talking about the fact that it should be more spoken about. I was like, I
Hmm.
think it should be more respected. It should be written, what? Oh, written about on an academic level, because it is such a successful Irish genre. And all they were talking about was like, they were even talking about like Irish jazz and Irish classical. And obviously, most of it was about trad, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But then they were talking about like Irish rock, Irish pop, Irish techno. And I was like, so where's Irish country?
Yeah.
And I think there was like one book that I read, it was in the references on the very last page, and it was like Irish country and Western music, which is a very successful genre in its own right. And I was like, but why wasn't that written about in the actual book then?
Hmm.
He said he covered all of Irish music history, but he didn't cover Irish country music. So I was raging.
Like, which is, I mean, I'm going to assume that the Irish country music scene is bigger than the Irish techno scene. Like,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, you're looking at the show band era, and you're looking at,
exactly.
I mean, I've actually found the message here. It was December 2019.
Yeah,
So we know each other we go years, we go
ages.
way back. Yeah, actually, I messaged you and I said, come here if you need it, like, and then I sent it on and you said thank you, and I never said you're welcome.
Oh, you're grand.
But I'd say what because your thesis is more recent, I'd say yours is nearly like a continuation of mine in a way.
Yeah, it could have
You're adding
been.
in the more recent bits, like talking about Nathan in the Three Arena, and
Yeah.
oh, you know what? It's great that somebody else wrote about, because I suppose, look, it was before Christmas and I was throwing it on to you and I didn't
Oh,
think anything
yeah.
else about it, but oh, it's so great that somebody else wrote about it, like that.
Yeah.
Now, I actually managed to get a good few resources. I don't know if they were any good to you. Now, a lot of them
Yeah.
were American country music. I even have some of
Mhm.
them here, some of
Yeah.
the books, but yeah, it was hard, right? But I suppose when you've the knowledge of the country music scene, it made it a bit easier because you could
Yeah. Like I
make
think
it
a
up.
lot of it did actually have to come from like my personal experience with being a country musician in Ireland. That
Yeah,
it was like, okay, like I literally had to write accounts of my own experiences of
yeah.
festivals and gigs.
Did you write well, we call them ethnographies. I don't know if
Oh,
that's
we actually no, I don't think we were kind of referring to them as that. It was
that's what
more
we call
for,
them, and it was your personal. like I wrote about as a dancer in the country music scene, and that
Yeah.
I wasn't even teaching then. That's how long ago it was.
Ah.
So I was just a dancer. I was just a goer to the shows. But oh, I'm so glad you brought that up because I did.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it just didn't come up, and then I was like, "Oh my God, I forgot to mention that," and just to say thank you for how much you actually helped me, because I remember, like, obviously with your thesis, you're so into it, and I got so passionate. I was like, "I am not
Same.
happy that people are not respecting this genre for what it is."
Mhm.
So I was like bulling, but when you sent me across yours and to see, the references in the books that you used, I was like, "Oh, thank
Yeah.
the Lord."
Just looking down through the lit review. You didn't even need to read the thesis.
Yeah.
Just look at the lit or
Lit
look at
review.
the lit, yeah, for
The
bibliography.
bibliography, yeah.
There we go. It's all the terms are coming back to me now. Just look at the bibliography, and it was like, yes. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
so glad I could help you out. And do you know what? I don't think I've ever had to send it on to anyone before, but other than that, it's just sitting here on the shelf, like. And sometimes I flick
Yeah.
through it, looking back at who I interviewed Derek Ryan and Ger
Mhm.
Butler, and like looking back,
Yeah.
it's so funny the questions I was asking them, like,
Yeah.
do you enjoy being on the road? Do you
Yeah.
like such like oh silly questions, but so there's two of us out there who have wrote a thesis on country music, and I don't know if there's anyone else, but
I did
oh
hear
I'm
actually,
oh
like there was a girl at the time I was writing my thesis, there was a girl in Dundalk writing her master's on Irish women or women in Irish country music. And I was like,
oh I'd love
oh,
to read that.
I must actually give her a message and see if she's finished it and if I can read it, because
Do
that would
and
be
then
amazing.
give me a message.
Yeah, I will.
We'll have a little thesis group. We can
Yeah.
like share bibliographies and
Yeah.
share a suggested what were they called,
Suggested
readings.
readings. Yeah.
Yes, suggested reading that nobody ever reads. Oh my God,
Yeah.
tell you, we could be on to something here.
Definitely.
Shannon, I'm so glad you brought that up. And for the second time, I'm going to say goodbye. And you know what? I'll say it myself, and I won't go through the whole spiel again. But Shannon, thank you for bringing that up again, because that was funny to look back on. So
Yeah.
again, guys, this time we are saying goodbye for good. Mind yourselves, stay safe, and I will talk to you again in the next episode.